Mike here, welcome back to another Geoguessr video. Today we are playing some fan maps, which is where you guys submit maps to me. This one is of course, as always, brought to you by the channel members who get to skip the queue back on the ordinary Discord. And so, yep, they get to pick the first 2 maps and the other 3 are by regular people. And so the regular people I chose from the most recent maps today, so go submit. Sometimes I'll mix in some regular picks as well as trying to get through the whole catalog as well. Right, so straight into things here. Let's go for some cool places this guy has been to. So that should be a really interesting way to play here. We're going to play a minute per round as well. So let's see how we end up doing here. First round of the video here. So places he's been. I think there's also a hidden theme to this one as well. And so we're on a river. Interesting. So I'm not actually sure where this guy's from, so that won't really help me at all. As for the round though, it feels quite sparse. I remember having a similar round in the Ukraine once, but kind of not so confident about that, to be honest. The trees are fairly generic looking. I can't actually really pick if they're more Americana or more European. Although I might be leaning European overall here. I guess we'll probably find out where this guy lives based on where he's been by the end of this seed. Wow, it started me off zoomed over here, so maybe this one will be more American themed. I'm actually kind of thinking that I would be throwing away my guess if I didn't guess somewhere USA here. So if I want to say USA for this round, maybe I'll be thinking more like Kentucky or Tennessee or something like that. Doesn't feel like a particularly cold climate, but it is quite hilly as well. So I'm going to go for that. Let's see if that's decent. Not too bad. Actually, over the border, just one state over in Ohio, near Cleveland there. So quite a built-up area, actually. Didn't really get that feeling from the Rocky River Reservation there, but not to worry. Still a good score. Especially considering these videos often include quite difficult maps. So this one, he's been to a rather desolate place here, it seems. Lots of rocks. Okay, we have a decent amount of trees here, so it's not so far north as I kind of originally thought. And we've got just this perfectly square blur here. Okay, so yeah, it is actually a warmer climate than I thought, actually. So the people here, they've all got brown, blackish hair. Okay, does it kind of remind me of like Salt Lake City area or something like that? I feel like the mountains there are shaped similarly to these ones. And so I feel like there might be a bit of a USA theme to this map as well. So this is kind of what I'm thinking, somewhere over here. Yeah, so you can see these mountains that are shaped fairly similarly. So I'm going to go on Utah Lake here, but no, it seems like it's a bit populated to be actually there. So I guess I'll go on the Great Salt Lake somewhere and hope for the best here. Not terrible, ends up being near Yosemite National Park there, so we're in Mono Lake. Interesting round. So I don't really know too much about that area, but it's definitely a nice place, and we're a fairly similar distance once again here. Okay, so next one, loading in here, kind of more sandy this time, that's for sure. Okay, so this reminds me of East Coast, I would say, when you see a lot of sand. Definitely kind of an East Coast thing to see, but I could be wrong. Yeah, so these kind of dunes. So when I see these dunes, I'm always thinking of kind of like, I feel like they're around like Delaware or like Virginia or something like that you get these like dune kind of areas. I actually don't know where though. I feel like this kind of area here often has it. So I think I'm going to guess there, but it is a lot of trees. And I don't know if I associate Delaware with such big forests like this. So it could even be further north, like maybe even Massachusetts or something like that. The greenery also seems a bit more northern. I'm actually going to switch here. Might be a bad switch. Could easily be a bad switch, but I'm going to go in near Plymouth here. In this state, near the state forest? I don't know. This might be a bad switch, but let's find out. Oh, wow. Michigan. Okay. So we were on Lake Michigan here, of course. And that was some Sleeping Bear Dunes National Lakeshore. Interesting round, I must say. Was not expecting Michigan, but on the other hand, it makes sense. Okay, so we have these famous telescopes. Where are they located? Is it Nevada? I feel like this is Nevada. Interesting bollard here as well. You'd really hardly call it bollard, to be honest. But yeah, I feel like this is Nevada or maybe New Mexico. I think it's one of the two. For whatever reason, I don't think it's Arizona. I think it's one. Maybe it's actually New Mexico. I think that kind of makes more sense. Oh wow, look, they've updated the nature reserves, and not the indigenous reserves here a lot. They're actually much more clear on the map now, which is cool. But that's beside the point. We need to pick the actual location here. Probably thinking just near Albuquerque. What big mountains do they have nearby there? Where's Area 51? I feel like that's kind of more up this way. I'm not sure if they're at all related, these telescopes in Area 51, but for some reason it comes into my mind. So yeah, maybe up this region here. Yeah, otherwise it's going to be Nevada, I think. I just have a feeling it's one of the two. Let's find out. Oh, wow. Wow, okay, he got me. He got me. This one was in the biggest island of Hawaii. The island of Hawaii, indeed. And it does get very dry on this island compared to the other ones, is what I've noticed, at least in my limited Hawaii guessing experience. And so this one is in a lake of some kind here. Wow, it's very nice and, like, rounded. That's pretty cool. So where's he been? This is presumably in the US again, although I was thinking maybe California again for this one. Kind of reminds me of that. Maybe even Oregon or Washington for, like, a place of natural beauty like this. So maybe I might guess an Oregon for this one, or maybe NorCal, or whatever you say. So yeah, thinking of where do we have that crater? The lake within the lake. Let's go Diamond Lake here. I could see it being Diamond Lake. Why not? Let's see. Let's see if I'm right about that. Oh, wow. It was near Austin. Was not expecting that, but to be fair, I didn't really know where to go there. So we ended up with 5,000 points. I mean, all things considered, the guesses were not too bad. I mean, if you take away the Hawaii guess, it doesn't look that bad. So I'll say it's a slight W. But anyway, let's go into Zig Zag Challenge number 2, which is by Noza, another channel member, and he says he's asking me if I can beat 9,300, which is what I scored on his previous map that he made for me. So should be an interesting little experiment here. We'll see if 9,300 is doable. Okay, so these kind of dunes, we got rubbish on the ground, we got a bottle filled with sand, we got some t-shirts or something like that. These mountains and stuff remind me of the Yemeni mountains, or like maybe in Socotra or something like that. So would we have assuming the compass is correct here, I think it could fit. I really want to go Socotra, otherwise Yemen. Because you get these really like flat mountains that are not very tall, but distinctly flat. Otherwise, this could be anywhere, to be honest. And with the sun to the south, like, there's so many options. But I'm going to go for it. Let's see. Not terrible, but, well, it is kind of terrible. 21 points. We're in Western Sahara there. So definitely a tough one. I can see that, though. I can see that. Next one here. Another tough one. Interesting, massive building here. So, ooh, Djibouti flag in the background. I see. Hey, you can't fool me. I got that low-res vision, man. Okay. And so we're in, like, kind of a bigger town here. We have what seems to be quite a bit of industry there. And we're on the coast on like a big jetty. So this is 5Kable for sure. So let's get in with our 30 seconds here to Djibouti. And, okay, so it could be here. No, we need to be right next to a big building, which is the kind of point of the round. So I think that might be the Mez Tower, could it be? I think that kind of makes sense. Does this bend off at the end is the question. It does bend off at the end. So I'm thinking we're kind of somewhere around here, right? Yeah, that looks really good, actually. I think this might be one of our rare 5K moments here, because the whole round seems to fit here, I would say. And then we can see those kind of power plant kind of area over there. So let's see if I'm right. 2.5 kilometers away. I'm dumb, bro. Ended up being, okay, this palace. Okay, Djibouti Palace. So not a rare 5K on this occasion, unfortunately. But still very good. Still very good. Can't really complain about that, even if I am a bit daft when it comes to the 5Ks. Okay, so next one here. Almost feels like Thailand or something like that. No, probably not, actually. Engineer room. Okay, this might remind me more of Africa then, based on that. Bit of English there. This, like, Stilt's house is what reminded me of Thailand. But the rest of the round, I'm not so sure about. Red soil as well. I think it's actually West Africa. I think we're, like, on the border of the Amazon here. And so, whereabouts do we want to go based on that information with 30 seconds to go? I was thinking, like, well, 30 seconds to go, we could go in Togo. Just a thought that came into my mind when I said it. I actually don't mind that, to be fair. I think we'd be speaking French there, right? Lomé? Yeah, probably. So I may actually switch to like northern Nigeria here. I feel like that's actually kind of a decent shout. And then, you know, if it ends up being like Liberia or something like that, well, no, Liberia would be more green. But if it ends up being one of these countries over here in the Francophone kind of area, then we still get decent points. And yeah, okay, so it was Sudan. So 699 points. We're kind of on the track to the 9,300 score, I think. Well, this one feels like Australia though. This looks like a Northern Territory number plate if I had to guess. So I think we're near Darwin here. That's actually some interesting buildings over there. Not really sure what that's about. But yeah, we're definitely in the top end here of Australia. And I'm going to try and find a bridge that actually fits here. Channel Island. Would that make sense? No, this is more like a jetty, more like a strangely shaped jetty than a bridge, actually. So then, well, but it's also kind of forested, so maybe over here does make sense. Okay. So could we be at Charles Point? We do see like the land is fairly close here, so I think we have to be in a kind of like a area like this where the two shores are quite close to one another. And so boat ramp, middle arm boat ramp. It's not a boat ramp, this, but I still think I'm going to guess there because I feel like it's this kind of area. So let's find out, shall we? And not terrible. Oh, it was Tiwi Islands, of course. So this one is Melville Island and then Bathurst Island, and there. Well, Melville Island is the biggest island apart from Tasmania in Australia. So a decent score there, and we have surpassed 9,300, which is good. But it's basically been on the back of our two best guesses so far. Cracked rocks here, and we have a really interestingly shaped mountain. I was thinking of Turkey. I was also thinking of like Ethiopia or maybe even Mexico. For whatever reason, there are 3 different continents, but 3 different countries that pop to mind here. Could even be like Arge or something like that as well. These trees kind of remind me of that. It's actually not easy, this one, I must say. Could even be Australia. It is possible. Well, no, I don't think these trees are quite right. I'm even thinking of like a Turkish border over here with like Armenia or something like that. I feel like that's a good kind of shout. Although, it does feel like high rainfall. Could be India. I don't know. I think I'm going to go here because I feel like that's kind of the safer hedge. Very prepared for it to be like Ethiopia or even South America or something like that, though. So let's find out here. And okay, it was USA. Wow. It was in New Mexico, right? Where I was guessing before. And so we ended up with 10,333, which is a good effort. We beat his expectation by 1,000 points. So, yeah, I'm happy with that. So let's head into these other maps, which this one's made by Nico Bausch, and we got the Zig Zag Challenge Map. All right, I love it. 5 locations is exactly how you need to submit it. Do go ahead and make one after watching this video, but the backlog is long. I'll warn you that much. But this one is interesting. We do have some rocks here, big mountains, a lot of moss and stuff. I would say like Iceland is a decent shout here. It does remind me of Iceland, but it could just easily be northern Canada or something in the deep southern hemisphere like Chile or Arge. So yeah, that's kind of the situation we're in with these kind of rounds, but overall it does, I mean, could be Alaska too. It just definitely reminds me of Iceland. So I kind of want to just guess in the mountains of Iceland here. Is that wise? I don't know. I'm really not sure. I'm going to go up here in the mountains of Iceland. Let's find out, shall we? Okay, exact right latitude, but it was Alaska. As I mentioned, it might be. And that's about as remote as it gets. I mean, as much as I like the hard challenges, that round is a bit too hard, I think. These rocks are certainly interesting. These must be world famous because they're very cool. The other people here look white, I think. This is very cool. Like some red cliffs in the background as well. I'm not sure where to put this one, actually. Do they have any clues on them, these fellows? Couldn't really be sure. Okay, so, I have never seen these rocks, so as I said, I'm sure these are going to be famous somewhere. Okay, so where would we see such a geological structure? This red kind of mountainous stuff. It could be Australia. I actually don't hate Australia, although I don't think the trees are right. Well, I'm just going to go Australia anyway, because I can't think of anything better here. So let's go the top end of WA. But yeah, I was going to say, like, I would have heard of something like that if it was in Australia. It ends up being in Madagascar there. So maybe, I think Madagascans actually have, like, Polynesian ancestry. So maybe he was actually a native Madagascan. Because I think they're more related to Polynesians or maybe even Indians than they are to Africans, DNA-wise. So anyway, we end up with 135 points so far, so not going too well. Here we have some really interesting white cliffs. Maybe it feels like, well, the water's very blue. Almost feels like glacial, which is really interesting. Although this is not ice, this is rock, of course, as far as I can tell. Because it's a very sunny day and there's also trees growing on this rock. So Greece? I feel like Greece is possible. I was thinking something Adriatic Sea maybe, but he looks like he's dressed for really cold weather. So it does make it a little more difficult here. Some part of me almost wants to go over here as well in the Kuril Islands. I don't know why. But if it ends up being there, I'm going to be super sad. The trees, maybe I go for the swag guess, bro. I mean, he's dressed for cold weather, so I kind of want to. But the water wouldn't be this blue. Well, I'm going to go for it. This is probably the silliest guess I've done in a while, but if it's just Greece, I'm going to be so sad. But let's find out, shall we? Oh my gosh, okay, so it ends up being in Denmark. That's okay, we wouldn't have got too many points anyway with Greece or Croatia or whatever. Definitely a tough round and a pretty cool spot as well. So this one has been proving very difficult for me. This one's cool. So a big river here. Kind of leads off into a bigger river. I was thinking like maybe like Tanzania or something for this one, but it's a lot of little trees, but if you zoom in, they're very low quality. It's a cool round. I do like this one. And that might be the ocean there, actually, to our north. Either that or, like, I was thinking it might be, like, Lake Victoria or something like that. I don't know if you have such a big forest. If we were over here, I feel like it is possible. And it does get hilly over here as well, so... Yeah. Kind of unconvinced, if I'm honest. Kind of unconvinced, even though I do want it to be there, because it was my first thought. So then, where else could this be? USA is vaguely possible. It could be, like, an Asian river. It kind of reminds me. That could even be the Amazon, you know? Why do I kind of like that all of a sudden? It's the shape of the river. Dude, this is a silly switch up. This is a silly switch up. But I can't think of where it would actually be. So let's go near the Amazon River here. It just kind of has that shape to it, I think. Oh, no. Northern Russia. Oh, this region. I always get tripped up by these ones. But I think I'll recognize it next time I see it. 0 points there. But yeah, the very unique mountain shapes. Super cool. Like, I feel like no one knows about this. Let alone, and certainly not me. I mean, like, until I got challenge maps with a bunch of locations there. Okay, this one feels Australian. I feel like it's near Sydney. Okay, so we've got some older buildings here. Wow, this is not Australian architecture. Okay, so maybe Greece or Italy or something like that then. It feels like very southern hemisphere vegetation. So let me see here. Could these be like faux European and actually in Australia? I don't think so. I think these are actually European buildings, unfortunately. Yeah, we're in a big bay here with, like, islands, so I'm just going to go Greece here. Has to be Greece. And I'm going to go around here. We'll see. Ends up being... Oh, wow. It was in France. Are you kidding me? Okay, well, very Australian-looking vegetation there, I must say. So we end up with a not too respectable score of 1,600 here. Definitely a tough one, that's for sure. How many total kilometers were we away here, I wonder? It's going to be a lot. 35,000 kilometers, so yeah. Hard, we shall see. This is the next one here. Hopefully a little bit more successful than the last one, but, you know, it does demoralize you a little bit when these rounds are so hard sometimes. So we're left with this beautiful view at the start of the round, but now we can look around and just kind of very cold climate, green grass field here. I was thinking like Finland, like, but normally Finland would have more trees. So maybe not Finland, but similar climate, maybe over in Russia. I actually think this might be Russia. And so where would you see just like, yeah, again, the problem is the lack of trees here. That's the really interesting part. Could be Iceland on a really flat bit as well, just because we know that Iceland has so few trees. And also these flowers kind of feel like they could be in Iceland. You know what? Another ballsy Iceland guess is coming in here, boys. I'm going to say we are... Could just be like over here. I can see it. Let's go for it. I don't think it's right, but let's see. Yeah, okay, so it ends up being in one of the Dutch islands here. So not a fantastic effort. We got the right continent, but that's about it. Okay, so this one, some volleyball going on here. Shoutouts to the volleyballers, the beach volleyballers, indeed. Feels East Asian. Definitely feels East Asian. I think the people are East Asian as well. China feels quite possible here. Yeah, I think it's going to be China, you know. Could be North Korea. Hey, could be North Korea. I think it actually might be North Korea. There's like a kind of strange pristineness about it. Also, the weather's really bad, so I mean, I feel like North Korea would be quite a cold country, all things considered. We have a lot of islands here, though. So, and well, one thing I have noticed is all the people are thin. So I know that's kind of a mean characterization to make, but yeah, all the people are thin. So I'm gonna go for North Korea here. I mean, it's Geoguessr, man. You have to use the clues you get. So I'm going to go for the best beach resort we can find. Looks like we won't find any. But this one, yeah, kind of near Seoul. Let's see if we're right here. Let's go. I maybe should have checked the compass, but we actually got the right country there, and with a bit of dodgy tactics. But we still get 4.3k to show for it, which is good. Next one here. Okay, so Cyrillic. I feel like it might be Cyrillic there. Not quite sure. Okay, so, again, kind of too blurry to almost tell, to be honest. White plate. I'm actually not convinced, though. white painted trees. So I think it will be post-Soviet somewhere at least. But the climate is very warm. Why is the climate so warm? Southern Russia? Maybe Kazakhstan? Maybe it could be Kazakhstan, I think. Interesting camel. Might lead us to a kind of a drier country. A lot of camels. I think there's quite a few camels in Kazakhstan as far as I remember. So, yeah, I'm just going to click like a dry but bigger city. This one is decently sized. I feel like that might be even too dry for what we want. Why don't we go in Abe here? Let's go in Abe and right here and see how we go. Oh, wow. So my original guess would have been much better, but we actually pulled a nice Kazakhstan guess. Very nice. Let's go. Sorry to the actual Kazakhstanis out there. Yeah. Okay, so next one here, very volcanic. Super volcanic here. Where are these where are these European tourists coming to see their volcanoes? Is the question. I don't know. Let's just pick a volcano somewhere. A good one. Maybe it's just Hawaii. I mean, it looks very cold. That's kind of the problem with my guess here. Everyone's wearing heavy jackets. Okay, where else? What about this Chilean island over here? I mean, no, not Christmas Island, but the other one. What about this one? I feel like I've seen. I don't know if it's a volcano there, but I feel like I've seen similar poor quality coverage there, or maybe even St. Helena. 12 seconds to go. Do they actually have a volcano? I don't think so. So, I'm gonna leave it there. Wouldn't be surprised if it was like Canaries or something as well. But let's leave it in the southern hemisphere then. Wow. Okay. North. Wow. I don't think I've ever had one in this island here. So I'm assuming this belongs to Iceland, but no, maybe it's Norwegian actually. It's probably Norwegian, come to think of it, but I've forgotten about that island's existence, to be honest. So not the best there. And this one is interesting. Okay, so it feels kind of like definitely kind of feels like interesting. Yellow plate, driving maybe left. Yellow rear plate, huh? Maybe it's like Fiji or something like that. Or maybe it's just somewhere in the Caribbean. I need some better tips to distinguish the two because I always forget. But yeah, this is kind of a strange round with the yellow rear plates, huh? Couldn't be Cyprus, could it? I don't think so. I don't think these plants don't feel very Cyprus-like. They kind of do feel Oceania-like. That's what I was thinking about this. So maybe even like Solomon Islands, because it reminded me of like a Philippines like rounds I've had in the past. So like northern Philippines. So maybe something in like kind of in line with that. Nauru, no. Kiribati, no. Tonga, could be. I'm gonna leave it in Solomon Islands. Let's see here. Ay. Oh man, it was St. Helena. Man, just after I was talking about it as well. Well, yeah. Clearly, I don't really know what that place looks like. So, 8,000 points. Not a terrific effort, but happy with the Kazakhstan and the North Korea. So, you have to say that was pretty nice. And for the final one here, let's get it and see how we're doing. First round, we appear to be in Europe, I would say. So, I think this kind of feels like Polish or German or... I don't know, this architecture is definitely a strange style, that's for sure. Maybe Dutch, but not many bricks, so maybe, yeah, I don't know. This is kind of strange. I think I like Poland. Like, these kind of like holes in the roof are kind of remind me of like the dormers that you have in Polish roofs often. So, yeah, I'm going to go Poland here, and I'm going to go near Germany because it kind of had that feel. And I'm going to go in this town here, which I'm going to try and pronounce now. Zielona Góra. Let's go for it. Oh, wow. Ends up being in Iran. Okay, so clearly completely the wrong idea there. I mean, it explains the strange architecture, but I just thought it was Europe. So, yeah, Iran does kind of have European vibes in the north there, where it gets a bit greener. Ooh, this one's cool. Wow, look at these beautiful lakes, and look at that mountain. Okay, this one should be gettable. Okay, here we have a sick lad just like posted up on this mountain. Could it be New Zealand? I feel like are these mountains too tall for New Zealand? They may actually be too tall for New Zealand, to be honest. I'm actually kind of conflicted here. I don't know what to make of these like small, like circular lakes. Could be like Alaska or BC or maybe it could even be the Alps, but doesn't really remind me as much of the Alps. So, do we see any like small circular-shaped mountains around? I mean, lakes around Queenstown, I wonder. Not too much, but that's not to say it couldn't be here either. Well, I can't really think of anything better, to be honest. Where are the tallest mountains? Over here, maybe. You know what? I'm going to go there. I'm pretty sure this is wrong, but let's find out. Yeah, it is wrong. So Washington, I did mention BC. Kind of makes sense. So I've been up Mount Shuksan, which you get a good view of Mount Baker from. So I have been near there, all things considered, in the Rockies. But yeah, not the best there, that's for sure. This one is feeling Middle Eastern, surely. Although these locations have been very difficult so far, so I don't really trust that. Could be India or Pakistan, I think. My guess in Pakistan here. I don't know why it gives me a Pakistani vibe, but maybe something about these, like, buildings as well. I think I'm gonna go for that, actually. Let's find out, shall we? So I will go nearby Islamabad here. And, wow, that was Peru. Oof. Right near Nazca, right near the Nazca Lines, presumably. Wow, and we're in Ica, which I had around in yesterday, but this is going exceptionally poorly so far, so we'll see if we can bring it back from the depths here. This one, it's like a Christmas market of some kind. Ooh. So I was thinking Germany off the bat when you see like a Christmas market like this, and no doubt this architecture is very German looking to some extent. But look at this pickup truck here. I think that's Canada or the US now. I do get that impression. So it's got to be somewhere that's kind of like doing an impression of Europe. One of these flags, if we could see the flags, would be in such better shape here. They seem dark though. So maybe this is like a double bait. Maybe the pickup truck is the double bait here. I don't know. It almost looks like it's parked on the left-hand side of the road as well. Could we be driving left here? I just can't think of where it would be if we're driving left though. It's not Australia, surely not. No. Okay, I've got to trust my gut here. I'm gonna go for. There's a town called Santa in Indiana, so I'm gonna go in Indiana here. Let's find out, I guess. It's called like Santa Claus or something. Okay, it ends up being in Washington again. We're in a very similar place, so perhaps our friend here who made the map is from Washington, but where's the place? Yeah, it's gonna have to tell me. I think it's called Santa Claus or something like that. Regardless, it's probably too small of a town to show up on that kind of zoom, but anyway, here's the last one. Let's redeem ourselves here. At least I hope we can. Gourmet pizza. So again, feeling kind of. Well, it's got European vibes again. We're speaking English, which is interesting. Long white plates. Could it be Russia, actually? Forest restaurant. Why do we have all this English exactly? Is kind of the main question on my mind at the moment, because it doesn't seem like we have blue EU strips, which is what I would be expecting to see in a kind of touristy area here. Also, forest restaurant. We have a picture of a mountain there, so presumably somewhere with some hills. But look at this black and white painted curb. I actually do like Georgia and southern Russia. I think Georgia would have a lot of stuff in Latin script for their tourist areas, you know. TripAdvisor thing here, definitely a touristy area, that's for sure. So, I feel like they do use blue strips in Georgia though. Oh well, I'm gonna go north of Tbilisi here, let's hope for the best. And it is in Morocco. That makes sense, but I think Morocco also uses blue strips, so maybe we just couldn't see them there. But that makes sense for the English as well, very touristy place. A lot of Europeans come down to Morocco as far as I understand. So another terrible score there. Guys, thanks very much for watching. Do submit your own maps. It was good fun to play them even if I didn't play too well, but some nice guesses as well. And yeah guys, I'll see you guys in a video very soon. Till then, goodbye. Thanks for watching.